Hi everyone. So I've been playing with the ZoomPedalFun for quite some time now. Munjal's been doing a lot on his side and other people have been involved and what have you. And one of the things that I realized from some of the feedback on the YouTube is that I'm not making this easy for people, and it's not by design, yeah. For me, I can do it, and I realize it's complicated for other people now. So what I've done is I've created a brand new repository. It's on ZoomPedalFun Docker. And what I've done is I've Dockerized it. So this means if you have a Pi 4, you can build an image. We could do that now. And I've done it on Ubuntu. So I use Windows in my daily work and I put a VM up. You could use Whitebox or we use VMware. And on that, I created a brand new Ubuntu 23 image or whatever, and then did a minimal install. And this Docker will run. So with the Ubuntu, it tells you how to do it here. Somewhere there's a readme. Hang on. A lot of people going across because of the coronation, and the helicopters were not far from Windsor. So, okay, you would put an X host plus on, you'd make certain you got your Zoom pedal plugged in, you'd go to the directory, you build a Docker file, and then you'd run it, having set the display to be that. So that's the idea of that one. So let's do it for the Pi because it was different. It didn't work so easily, but I got it working. So the first thing we've got to do is to pull this thing in. So let's just basically do that. So we git clone in the Docker fun. I'm in software, so it will create a new directory, Zoom Pedal Fun. So I can go into Zoom Pedal Fun, Docker. There we are. And then if I look at the README, which we've just done, it says, dude, there's a Pi 4 one. Okay, let's go to Pi 4. Okay. And then there's a README. So what the README says is install Docker on the Pi. So what does this mean? There is, oh, go away. There is an article on how to install Docker on Pi. I won't go through this, you can do it. But basically you follow what it says here. So quite simply, you update your system. It says to reboot, I didn't do that. You curl your Docker in, and then you run this command here to change the user mode so that you don't need sudo all the time, which is not something I haven't done on the Ubuntu, but I probably will do it. The bit I didn't read is reboot, and this is important. So when you do that from the command line, you should be able to say docker ps, and it says hello, nothing there. Okay, so now we can go back to the README, more README, and it says make certain as root you have created Xhost Plus. This is a bit naughty. I'm going to find a better way to do it. But what this does is to disable X11 checking. So I need to sudo su, and then I need to Xhost Plus, and that will allow any client. So this is bad. People could start putting stuff on your screen, but then X11 is not very secure anyway. So let's not go there for the minute. Yeah. Then it tells me that I need to check that I've got my device, so a mid-D minus L. It says there's a zoom, but I already know this because I have a screen set up for later under there, yeah? So we've got that done. Then what does it tell me to do? This one here. It then tells me, I'll look at it here to make my life easier. There. So look, Docker build and the tag is ZPF Pi 4. That's what we're going to create. So we just copy that. Oh, you can do it there. Look, I didn't realize that. Copy that. And we're in the right directory because there's a Docker file there. So now we can do right-hand click, paste, and off it will go. And it will take a while. So actually, I'm going to pause this for a second and come back to it. It's so quick because it's already been cached. So that's a bit unfair. So I will just pause this and be back. Yeah, this is the command that I use to get rid of everything. And because we've done this, we don't need the sudo all to work. Let's just check it out. Yeah, it'd be a bit unfair to do what I just did and say, oh, it's that quick, because it isn't. It takes a while. So let's hit that. Yes, we're going to clean everything. Boom, 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 boom. And on the Pi, I split it into smaller chunks of run rather than a contiguous run and, because that makes the job a bit easier when things are going wrong. Yeah. So now it'll start pulling it down. So the first thing it's doing is going to pull down some ARM image. Um, and there you see it's so that now it's updating the machine. That'll take a while, so I'll pause this now and come back. So I think I'll just explain whilst it's going on. It's been running for what, almost 3 minutes at the moment, and it's basically going to pull down this Slim Buster, and then it says it's non-interactive, so it doesn't keep asking yes. We update, and that's what it's doing now. Then it's going to install Git because we need to be able to pull Git down. Then we're going to create a environment, a virtual environment for Python. You don't really need to do this in a Docker, but I think it kind of makes sense. I don't do it in the Ubuntu, and I probably will in that one. Then we go and git clone the ZoomPedalFun, and we install various things we're going to need to make the tool run. So we're going to need Jack Daemon, we're going to need ALSA sound so we can look for the A-MIDI-L, which doesn't, and the utils. We're going to need a Python 3 TK because we're using that as the GUI language, and we need a G++ because we've got to build some code. Then this was the tricky bit. We need to go and get the lib JPEG, and I found an article. I should give the guy credit for that, or the person credit, so I will do. Don't need this one, which I thought I needed. I'll remove that actually. Then you install an upgrade and install Pillow, which then will trigger the ability to use this to build itself. Then you move to the Python directory and you run the requirements, which I froze earlier, which includes things like Siphon and RT Media, whatever. And then you basically say that that's the image built effectively. And then when you go to run the image, it will say, hey, I want a CD to the Python directory and then run that. And at the moment, I need to run it about 3 times because I've made a slight mistake. So there's the Python env coming in from up here. So, sorry. You see, so it's got to that stage. Once you build this, the image is available for you, and obviously I could store it remotely somewhere, but it's probably better to brew it yourself if you want to do this. Yeah, and when you come to run it again, you see we cleared out that cache, and that made it a lot quicker. But I'll just leave it running now. So it's going to clone into there. It's pulled that down pretty quickly, and now it's going to install all these tools. Yeah. Here we go. It's installed them. So I'll just pause whilst I let it continue doing that. We don't want to watch this. Okay, it's now getting to the stage where it's built or building the pillow and those sorts of packages. So it's doing that upgrade pip, and then it's going to install the pillow. So it's pulling down this version, and this was failing for me because at the command line of a Pi, it worked fine, but inside the little VM, or sorry, the image that's being built, it didn't want to work, and it took me a while to realize what was missing. Yeah, but anyway, so it should finish building that any second now. Yeah, I think it's no, it's downloaded. It was downloading it. Sorry, network's a bit slower in the garage. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so it's almost at the 10-minute mark, and now it's creating the image finally. So Docker, you have a script file that creates an image, and it can split into sub layers in order to allow it to cache data. That's what we cleared out in the first moment. So you see, once it's done, it's quite quick. And actually what I'll do is I'll probably rerun it in a moment just to prove that it's got it all in cache and therefore it's quick. So, you do this once and store it locally, and then you should be able to use it until such times that things change. But that's the plan. Yeah, there we are. So it's created the Docker ZPF Pi 4. So if we hit it again, I think it should be quite quick. Yeah, there, bang, it's done. So now we have the, what is it? We have the Zoom connected to the physical machine. We started another window, and we allowed the X11, the background, to write to any device. Any device can write to it. So now we've got to go back to the command to run the Docker. Yeah. Here we are. So this is then saying, okay, dude, run it. By the way, use the X11 that's there. So copy it across effectively. Use the local display. The host name is whatever my host name is. And this is the kinky bit, is make the sound device to be that. And that allows it to, that allows the Docker image to see the physical hardware. So let's just right hand click paste that, and at the moment it takes about 3 attempts to get this running because I need to debug my program. I think I know what so the first problem, it breaks, and this is all running inside that Docker. Okay, let's just do that. So let's do Docker ps, and and it ran and it stopped. Yeah, and that was that. So I hit it again. Oh, sorry, no, hit the command again, and I think this time it tries to talk to the machine and it gets upset. Yeah. So then we hit it one more time, and normally that's the third time's a charm. There, and I will debug this. I have an idea of what I think it is. Yeah. I just need to put a loop in that tries up to 3 times for you, so you don't need to do this. Yeah. And be careful what I pass back so that I'm sure it's working. So now this will go and build, it's building a model. In fact, sorry, let me just click here, you can see it. It's building a model. So it's put the pedal into PC mode and it's pulling the catalog of all the effects that are on it. So this is what Munjal worked out, and I'd seen it a different way that I'd done it. So it's gone to the pedal and it's interrogating and pulling it down. What I'll probably do in a future is to cache the common pedal effects and their IDs and what have you, so that if I see it, I know it's there. If you see what I mean, there's no need to if I already know about it, there's no need to pull it apart. But this gets around the problem of these other GUIs that you use, where that someone is using effects manager to change the state of their pedal, and the GUI doesn't check. Well, this is checking. So again, it takes a while, but it's better for it to check. So again, if I have the stuff already there, I can look it up and pull the data down and have my own little SQL-like database or whatever. That would probably be the next thing to do. And obviously, at the moment, this is running in my Pi on the garage. It's not obvious to you, it is to me. If I brought my other screen in, the touch screen, then I could touch the display and get it to do the next bit. So like I said, it's just basically loading in all of the state of the pedal, and it allows us to render it. So if I've put any specialized models, A1X4 models or certain of the G5N models, you can't put them all on, then the B1X will know about it, and this software will know about it, but the official Zoom Guitar Lab doesn't always seem to know about these things, and certainly the ToneLib doesn't know about it. I have tried to contact the ToneLib people because I can show them how to do this so that they can, it's much quicker if you do it in C, but they could check the pedal. Here we go. It's processing the patches, so it's going to finish any minute now. Dun, 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 there we are, and now it's worked. So this allows you to run the system. Maybe I can make that a bit smaller. No, I can't. That did that. Okay. This allows you to run the pedal software in a Docker. You don't need to know to do Python. You just need to know how to run those commands I showed you. So if we click there, it will go to 10, sans clean. Click there, it will go there. Yeah. So it's working quite nicely. It's just moving the things. It is a Jacko base, yeah. So with my other box I've built, the physical box, I wouldn't have to reach across. And there is a danger when I reach across to push the settings that I might end up accidentally powering the thing off because one of the, no, it's not the settings, it's the memory stomp. Let's try that. There we are. So now you can see that if I click on the D fret, it'll show me that it's got cent 7, 9. These are the MIDI values. The display value in this case is one more. I could do something about it because the B1X4 allows us to get this information, but at the moment I don't want it. So if we do this, you see it's going down, it's going up, yeah. So it's all working in real time and you can run this from a Docker basically. So to recap, if you have a Pi 4 or you have a Linux Ubuntu on Intel, you can go to this latest Zoom Pedal Docker, pull down the code, make certain you've got Docker installed on your machine, make certain that you've allowed the root has allowed anyone to write to your display, yeah, which is okay if you're in an isolated network, yeah. I will work on that to work out why it needs to do that, yeah. And then you can basically just run this thing up and start playing with your pedals. You can come here and click down. It will work. In this case, it's a standard pedal, but if I put some of the additional AC models on, I get an AC model here, yeah. So I'd have additional groupings when I come to look. So here, you click on that, you say, okay, I'll click there, and now it's added the AG750 on, yeah, and it's there, and I can begin to mess with it, yeah. Now, again, if I mess with number 6 there, I can't see it, so I have to physically go across and move this there, deep off. Did I change that? Yeah, on, off, yeah. Now, with my physical ZoomPedalFun hardware, I can just click a button with my foot to do this, yeah. Um, most of the time, to be frank, you'd set it up and leave it like that. But when you're trying to play with it, or even in a live situation with the hardware I've got, with this software, you can change the thing on the fly. So that's really all I wanted to say. I did listen when people said it's kind of complicated what I'm doing. It's not meant to be. Um, so basically, if you can use Docker, you can run the software without any problems and talk to any attached pedal. So thank you for your time, and if you like this, please like it, and let me know if there's any other features that you want. Where I'm at the moment, the hardware, I think in the previous video I showed, is working quite nicely. It's doing the page turning, etc. I can use the touchscreen to do this thing as well if I want to, and there's no reason why I couldn't have both computer control via a Pi and Bluetooth and physical control via an ESP32. So that's all doable. I think what I might start concentrating on next is the CDR, MS CDR70, because there's some things I want to do on that. Okay, thank you for your time, and have fun, whatever you do. Bye-bye.